Before we begin tonight's journey, take a moment to settle comfortably into your bed. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax your jaw. Let your breathing become slow and natural. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do, only this quiet moment. Tonight we travel back in time, far beyond the noise of modern cities, far beyond electric lights and busy roads, to a small village in medieval England, a place that may appear peaceful from a distance. Rolling green hills, stone cottages, golden fields swaying beneath the wind, and narrow dirt paths winding through the countryside. Yet beneath this picturesque scene was a life of extraordinary hardship, a life that most modern people would find nearly impossible to endure. As we gently explore this forgotten world together, you may discover why surviving even a single week here would be far more difficult than you imagine. So take one slow breath in and slowly breathe out. Close your eyes and let the story begin. Feel the scene. You awaken one morning to a strange silence. The familiar sounds of your home are gone. No distant traffic, no humming appliances, no electronic notifications, only birdsong, the soft rustling of leaves, and the distant sound of a wooden cart moving along a rough dirt road. You slowly sit up. The ground beneath you feels uneven. The air feels cool and damp. When you look around, you realize something impossible has happened. You are no longer in the modern world. Instead, you find yourself standing in rural England sometime during the 14th century. The year is approximately 1350. The village before you is small. Perhaps only a few dozen families live here. Tiny cottages with thatched roofs cluster around a simple church. Thin trails of smoke rise into the morning sky. Animals wander freely between buildings. Chickens scratch at the dirt. A pig lazily searches for food. A horse pulls a heavy wooden wagon through the village center. Everything feels strangely peaceful at first. The morning sunlight casts a warm glow across the fields. The countryside stretches endlessly in every direction. Gentle hills roll toward the horizon. Wildflowers grow beside narrow paths. For a moment, it almost feels beautiful. But then you begin noticing the details. The smell. The village does not smell like fresh countryside. Instead, a powerful mixture of smoke, manure, damp straw, and waste fills the air. There is no modern sanitation, no sewage system, no garbage collection. Everything that people and animals produce remains close to where they live. You instinctively wrinkle your nose. Yet nobody around you seems bothered. For them, this is completely normal. A woman carrying a wooden bucket walks past. A farmer leads several sheep toward the fields. Children run barefoot through muddy streets. Life has already begun long before sunrise. Because in medieval England, every hour of daylight matters. Food must be grown. Animals must be cared for. Firewood must be gathered. Water must be carried. There are no machines to help. Every task depends upon human labor. You watch as villagers begin their daily routines. Most of them appear older than their years. A man who might be 30 looks closer to 50. Years of physical work have worn deep lines into his face. His hands are rough and scarred. His clothing is simple, a rough wool tunic, leather shoes, nothing more. As you continue observing the village, another realization slowly emerges. You are completely unprepared for this world. You possess none of the skills necessary to survive here. You do not know how to plow a field. You do not know how to repair a roof. You do not know how to care for livestock. You cannot bake bread without modern equipment. You cannot identify edible plants growing in the countryside. The villagers have spent their entire lives learning these skills. For them, survival depends upon practical knowledge. For you, even the simplest tasks would be challenging. The sun continues climbing higher into the sky. Work has already begun everywhere around you, and deep inside you start to understand something important. The beautiful medieval countryside hides a reality far harsher than any modern person expects. And this is only your first morning. As the morning continues, you begin to walk slowly through the village. At first glance, everything still appears peaceful. The cottages are charming, the fields are green, the church bell rings softly in the distance, and sunlight spills across the countryside like warm gold. Yet the longer you remain here, the more the reality of medieval life begins to reveal itself. The first thing you notice is the smell. It is everywhere. There is no escaping it. Even the gentle breeze carries it from one end of the village to the other. The scent is a mixture of animal manure, wood smoke, damp straw, muddy earth, and human waste. To modern senses, it feels overwhelming, but for the villagers, it is simply part of daily life. There are no underground sewer systems, no waste management services, no flushing toilets. Most families dispose of waste in simple pits or throw it into nearby ditches. Animals live close to people, sometimes inside the same building during winter. Pigs wander freely through the muddy streets. Geese honk loudly as they cross narrow paths. Dogs search for scraps near cottage doors, and chickens peck endlessly at the ground. Everywhere you look, life feels connected to the earth, raw, untamed, and surprisingly messy. As you continue walking, your shoes sink into thick mud. The roads are not paved. They are little more than dirt tracks created by years of footsteps, wagon wheels, and animal traffic. After rainfall, the village becomes a sea of mud. Deep ruts fill with water. Pools form between cottages. Travel becomes slow and difficult. You carefully step around puddles. Yet the villagers move confidently. They have spent their entire lives navigating these conditions. To them, this is normal. You pass a group of women carrying wooden buckets from the village well. Water is one of the most important resources in medieval life. Every drop must be collected by hand. There are no kitchen faucets, no showers, no washing machines. Water must be carried for drinking, cooking, cleaning, and caring for animals. The task repeats every day, again and again, from sunrise until sunset. A young girl struggles beneath the weight of her bucket. She cannot be older than 10 years old, yet she already contributes to the household. In medieval England, children begin working at a very young age. There is little time for play. Survival requires everyone to help. Nearby, a blacksmith pounds glowing metal upon an anvil. The sharp, ringing sound echoes through the village. His forge radiates intense heat. Sparks leap into the air with every strike. Without skilled craftsmen like him, village life would quickly come to a halt. Tools must be repaired. Horseshoes must be made. Farming equipment requires constant maintenance. Every profession serves an important purpose. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is taken for granted. As you move farther down the road, you notice another surprising detail. Most villagers own very few possessions. A wooden bowl, a simple blanket, a few tools, perhaps a cooking pot. That is often all they have. Modern homes contain thousands of objects. Medieval homes contain only what is absolutely necessary. Every item must be earned through labor. Every possession has value. The idea of convenience does not exist here. A simple task that takes seconds in the modern world may require hours of work. Even lighting a fire demands effort. Firewood must first be gathered, chopped, stored, protected from rain, then carefully ignited. Without fire, there is no warmth, no cooked food, no light after sunset, no comfort during winter. As noon approaches, the village becomes increasingly active. Workers move through the fields, farm animals are fed, tools are repaired, meals are prepared, and everywhere you look, people are busy. There is little idle time. Life here depends upon constant effort. The modern world often shields people from the physical realities of survival. Food appears in supermarkets. Clean water flows from taps. Electricity arrives with the flip of a switch. But here, every necessity must be earned through hard work. You begin to understand how exhausting this life truly is, and perhaps why the average person from the modern world would struggle to survive. The villagers around you possess remarkable resilience. Their bodies are strong, their routines are disciplined, their knowledge is practical. They understand weather patterns, animal behavior, crop cycles, and countless survival skills that have been passed down through generations. Without those skills, life becomes extremely difficult. As the afternoon sun shines overhead, you pause beside a small cottage. Smoke drifts lazily from the chimney. A wooden door stands slightly open. Inside waits another lesson about medieval life. A lesson that reveals how ordinary families lived, slept, and survived within these tiny homes. And as you gently step toward the doorway, our journey continues. You take a slow, deep breath, letting the cool English air fill your lungs as you step closer to the small peasant cottage. The doorway is low, built from rough timber, forcing you to bow your head slightly as you cross the threshold. As your eyes adjust to the dim interior, you realize how different this space is from any modern home. There are no large windows, no hallways, and no separate rooms. It is a single, small space, a universe shared by an entire family. The walls are made of wattle and daub, woven wooden strips covered with a mixture of mud, straw, and animal dung. It is crude, yet it has kept out the bitter winds for generations. The floor beneath your feet is not made of wood or stone. It is simply packed earth, hardened by the pressure of countless bare feet. Over the dirt, a thin layer of dry rushes and straw has been scattered. It crackles softly under your weight, releasing a faint, earthy scent of dried grass. In the center of the room sits the heart of the home, the hearth. There is no chimney. Instead, a small fire burns directly on a flat stone on the floor. The smoke does not escape through a pipe. It drifts upward, swirling lazily toward the high, thatched roof. The ceiling is stained a deep, dark black from years of rising soot. Looking up, you see the smoke slowly filtering through the thick straw of the roof, escaping into the open sky. The air inside is thick with the scent of burning wood, oak, and peat. It bites gently at your eyes, but it provides the only warmth in this damp, stone-cold structure. There is almost no furniture. In the corner, you see a low wooden bench, a single, roughly hewn table, and a few three-legged stools. A heavy iron pot hangs from a tripod over the fire, bubbling softly. There are no shelves filled with books, no closets filled with clothes. A few wooden bowls, a couple of clay jugs, and a single iron knife are all this family owns. Every object is precious. Every object has a purpose. Against the far wall lies the family bed. It is not a mattress, but a large wooden frame packed with straw and covered with rough, heavy wool blankets. This is where the entire family sleeps together for warmth during the freezing nights. And in the darkest corner of the cottage, you notice something else. A small wooden partition. Behind it, a cow and two goats are quietly resting. During the cold months, the livestock are brought inside the home. Their body heat helps keep the cottage warm, and it protects them from thieves and predators. You can hear the gentle, rhythmic sound of the cow breathing in the dark, the rustle of its straw bed, and the soft clinking of its tether. It is a crowded, smoky, and fragile existence. There is no privacy, no modern comfort, and no insulation from the harsh world outside. Yet, as the fire crackles and the soft shadows dance along the mud walls, you feel a strange sense of simplicity. Life here is reduced to the barest essentials: shelter, warmth, and survival. Take another slow breath in and let it out. As the smoke rises, we move from the shelter of the home to the food that sustains it. As the afternoon sun begins its slow descent, a deep, hollow hunger sets in. In the modern world, satisfying this hunger would be effortless. You would open a refrigerator, visit a grocery store, or order food with a simple touch. But here, in the 14th century, every calorie must be pulled from the earth with exhausting labor. You look into the iron pot bubbling over the central hearth. Inside is pottage, the absolute foundation of the medieval peasant's diet. It is a thick, slow-boiling stew made of peas, beans, onions, and whatever grains could be gathered from the fields, like barley or oats. If the family is fortunate, there might be a few chopped turnips or a leaf of cabbage from their small garden plot. It smells earthy and heavily of cabbage and wood smoke. Meat is a rare luxury. A peasant might only taste pork or mutton on special feast days. For an ordinary week, this simple, repetitive vegetable pottage is all that sustains them. Beside the hearth sits a loaf of bread. It looks nothing like the soft, white loaves of today. This is maslin bread, a dark, heavy, and dense bread made from a mixture of rye and barley flour. It is hard, coarse, and contains bits of chaff and stone grit from the millstone that ground the grain. Eating it requires effort, and it wears down the teeth over time. Yet it is the true staff of life. Without it, the village would starve. To wash down the heavy meal, a clay jug is passed around. It does not contain clean, clear water. The villagers know that drinking water from the local streams or shallow wells can often bring severe sickness. Instead, they drink small ale. This is a very weak, unfiltered beer brewed at home from barley. Because it is boiled during the brewing process, it is safe to drink. It is cloudy, thick, and slightly sweet, consumed by everyone, men, women, and even young children, from morning until night. It provides much-needed calories for their heavy physical labor. There is no sugar here, no spices from distant lands like pepper or cinnamon. Those are reserved only for the wealthy lords in their stone castles. The only sweetness comes from a rare spoonful of wild honey gathered from the forest, or the natural sugars of a seasonal apple or pear. If the winter is long and the harvest is poor, this food quickly runs out. The threat of hunger is a constant shadow hanging over the village. Every grain of oats, every dried pea, and every drop of ale is counted and guarded. As you imagine sitting on a rough stool, sharing this simple, humble meal by the dim light of the fire, you realize how much the modern world has transformed our relationship with food. To survive here, you must accept a diet that is plain, repetitive, and entirely dependent on the mercy of the seasons. Before the first sliver of dawn breaks through the damp English mist, a heavy wooden bell tolls from the village church. It is a slow, rhythmic ring, calling the world to awaken. In medieval England, there are no mechanical clocks to measure time. Your life is measured strictly by the sun. When it rises, your labor begins. When it sets, the world returns to darkness. You step outside the smoky cottage into the freezing morning air. The grass is white with thick frost, and your breath plumes in front of your face. Every muscle in your body aches from sleeping on the hard straw bed, but there is no time to rest. In the fields, the heavy wooden plow is already waiting. You watch as a young farmer leads a team of 4 heavy oxen toward the muddy earth. The plow is massive, made of thick oak and tipped with an iron blade. It takes immense physical strength just to hold it straight as the oxen pull it forward, tearing through the stubborn, roots-entangled soil. Step by step, you walk behind the plow. The mud pulls tightly at your leather shoes, making each step heavy and exhausting. There are no machines here, no tractors, no automated tools. Every single seed must be scattered by hand, walking miles across the uneven, open fields. Your back grows stiff, and a sharp pain forms between your shoulders as the hours blur together. By midday, the sun is high, but the work does not change. If it is the spring, you are sowing barley and oats. If it is the autumn, you are harvesting wheat, swinging a heavy iron scythe through the tall stalks for 12 hours straight. One wrong move with a sharp blade could mean a deep cut, and in this century, an infection from a dirty blade is often fatal. The women and children labor just as hard. You see them bent over in the ditches, weeding the crops by hand under the burning sun or the pouring rain. Others are deep in the nearby woodlands, searching for fallen branches. Gathering firewood is a matter of life and death. Without it, the family cannot cook their pottage or stay warm when the night falls. Every bundle of wood must be tied and carried back to the village on their aching backs. Your hands, unaccustomed to this harsh reality, quickly become covered in deep, bleeding blisters. Your throat feels dry, parched from the dust of the fields and the constant wind. Yet looking around, you see no one stopping. To pause is to risk starvation. If the crops are not planted or harvested in time, the winter will bring famine. As the sun finally begins to slip below the western horizon, painting the sky in deep shades of purple and dark blue, the tools are put away. The physical exhaustion is absolute, a deep, heavy tiredness that settles into the very core of your bones. Feel the scene. If the daily labor of the summer is exhausting, the arrival of winter is terrifying. In medieval England, winter is not a cozy season of celebration. It is a dark, freezing crucible that tests the limits of human survival. Imagine the village in late December. The rolling green hills are now buried under a thick, suffocating blanket of white snow. The narrow dirt tracks are frozen solid, turning into jagged, treacherous paths of ice. The sun rises late and disappears early, leaving the village in darkness for nearly 16 hours a day. The bitter, biting wind howls through the bare branches of the forest, slamming against the thin, wattle and daub walls of your cottage. Inside, the cold is relentless. It creeps in through the gaps in the thatched roof, freezing the water in your clay jug solid before the midnight hour arrives. The central hearth is now your only lifeline. You sit as close to the small fire as possible, your knees almost touching the burning logs, yet your back remains freezing cold. The smoke inside the room is thicker now because you have sealed every small window opening with animal skins to keep the freezing drafts out. Your eyes sting and your throat feels dry from the trapped soot. In the corner, behind the small partition, the animals stir restlessly. Their water trough has frozen over, and you must use a heavy stone to break the ice so they can drink. Their heavy, warm breath mixes with yours in the dim room. If the animals die from the cold, the family loses everything. Food becomes a psychological battle. The fresh vegetables of the summer are long gone. All that remains in the dark corner of the cottage are a few sacks of dried peas, some salted pork hanging from the rafters, and the remaining maslin bread, which has grown so hard it must be soaked in boiling small ale just to be chewed. Every portion must be carefully rationed. You look at the small grain sack, knowing it must last until the spring thaw, which is still months away. There is a heavy, frozen silence that blankets the entire village. No one wanders outside unless it is absolutely necessary to gather more firewood from the snow-covered forest. The world feels small, confined to the few feet of earth around your flickering hearth. As you lie down on the straw bed, pulling the heavy, coarse wool blankets up to your chin, you listen to the storm outside. You realize how fragile life truly is without modern heating, insulated walls, or electricity. Survival here requires an inner strength, a quiet resilience to endure the dark and wait for the distant promise of spring. Feel the scene.
Holds the weight of a white silent sea. Ice on the jug where the water used to be. A curtain of wattle, a wall of the mud. Cold like a blade, near the rush and the blood, near their blood. Smoke rises thin, like a ghost in the grave. The village is buried, the village is far. One foot on the dirt and the other in stone, counting the hours we've managed to own. Fierce howling of a winter wind outside.
You are lying perfectly still on the simple straw bed, your body aching from the relentless labor in the fields. Outside the thin walls, a freezing, howling winter wind slams against the cottage, but inside, a small, cozy fire keeps the darkness at bay. It is a fragile warmth, but it is enough to make you drift into a light sleep. Then, you are awakened by a soft cough from the other corner of the small, singular room. In medieval England, sickness is a constant and terrifying reality. There are no modern antibiotics, no sterile hospitals, no understanding of germs. Even a simple infection from a dirty blade in the field can escalate into a severe fever within days. Without proper care, many ailments are fatal. There are no doctors like we have today. Instead, you rely entirely on the knowledge passed down through generations. In the darkest corner, beyond the small wooden partition where the cow and two goats rest quietly, consistent with image_2.png, sits an elderly woman. She is the closest thing your village has to a doctor. An apothecary, a cunning woman, a mistress of herbs. The air around her is thick, not with the smell of wood smoke, but with the pungent, comforting scent of dried mugwort, rosemary, and valerian root. A single oil lamp casts warm, flickering shadows on her face as she leans over a small clay pot. In a rough clay mortar and pestle, like an image_7.png, she carefully grinds a mixture of dried willow bark to make a tea for fevers and aches. Every plant has a purpose, and this knowledge, kept alive through whispers and practice, is all that stands between life and death. You close your eyes, taking a slow, deep breath, letting the scent of the dried herbs fill your lungs. The presence of the cunning woman, her quiet, disciplined work, and the scent of the ancient earth she gathers fills you with a deep, calming sense of protection. The knowledge is plain, the remedies simple, but they hold the deepest truths about survival. As the cunning woman continues her work, the soft shadows dance along the mud walls, and you drift back into a profound, tranquil sleep. Feel the scene.
Outside the door, but here the straw is soft and dry. The hearth fire dances on the floor and watches as the hours go by. The goats are quiet in the shade. The cow is breathing deep and slow. No longer are we much afraid of all the frost and all the snow. Willow bark and rosemary, ground to dust and steeped in heat. Rest your head, be brave and free. Let the earth be soft and sweet. Safe from blade and safe from cold. Truth is ancient, truth is old. Winter yields its bitter fruit. Close your eyes and let it fade. The weaver's work is almost done. In the warmth the herbs have made. Sleep until the morning sun. Willow bark and rosemary. Let the healing work begin.
The work is done. The animals are quiet, resting in the corner beyond the small partition. The cunning woman has completed her tasks, and now the entire village sleeps. Medieval England is a place defined by darkness. When the sun disappears, the world returns to a state of absolute quiet. There is no humming electricity, no distant city glow, no light pollution. Here, the night is truly black, a deep, silent ocean that blankets the land for 16 hours during the long winter. You step outside the low doorway to breathe the cold, crisp winter air. Above you, the sky is clear, but it looks nothing like the faint, modern sky. It is a breathtaking tapestry of countless twinkling stars and distant galaxies. The air is so pure, so undisturbed, that the Milky Way is a luminous river cutting across the dark blue canvas. A slender crescent moon casts a soft, pale glow on the snow-laden thatched roofs. Everything is frozen and perfectly still. The world around you feels fragile, ancient, and deeply serene. In this century, the night is not feared, it is respected, a necessary pause for the weary body and mind to heal. Here, time has no mechanical count, only the slow, rhythmic turning of the stars. You take one final slow breath of the cold air, feeling a profound sense of isolation and utter peace, before stepping back inside toward the flickering hearth. Feel the scene. Back inside the cozy, smoky cottage, the cunning woman has finally prepared the final, simple meal. A warm pottage in a clay cup of small ale, which you shared with the rest of the household in the very dim light of the dying oil lamp. Take a very slow, deep breath, letting the scent of the wood smoke and the dried herbs clear your lungs. Now the work of the day is absolutely done, and the rest of the household, the tired men, the woman with the weary face, and the children who have been quiet for hours, are all sleeping together on the large family straw bed, their bodies close, a singular mass of warmth and survival. You lie down in the place that has been reserved for you, pulling the heavy, coarse wool blankets up past your shoulders to your chin. The blanket is rough against your skin, but its weight is profound, a barrier between you and the cold. The air in the room is thick with the rich scent of burning oak and the earthy warmth of the dried rushes that scatter the hard-packed earth floor. Your body is heavy, a profound and ancient tiredness settling into the very core of your bones. Every muscle that has toiled in the fields is now letting go. You feel the absolute relief of complete immobility. The simple need for a warm blanket, a dry place, and a moment to rest becomes the only thought left in your mind. You look towards the hearth, the central heart of this simple, strong home. The fire that has burned all day is now just a collection of soft, glowing embers on the hearthstone. They shift and coalesce, turning from bright orange to a deep, warm red. Small wisps of smoke lazily drift upwards towards the soot-stained, thatched roof, where the darkness of the high ceiling seems to absorb everything. Medieval life is a story of raw, unfiltered existence. Every day is a battle against hunger, against the seasons, against the limits of physical endurance. Yet as you look at those dying embers, you realize that in this complete, essential simplicity lies the deepest kind of safety. Survival here is a shared rhythm. You are safe. Feel the scene.
The work is done, finally done. Wood smoke and rosemary clearing the lungs. Tired men, weary women, all breathing together. A singular mass of warmth on the straw. A singular mass of warmth. Survival is a shared rhythm. Heavy wool blankets, rough on the chin. Earthy warmth of the rushes beneath. Profound and ancient tiredness sinking into the bone. The simple need, a warm blanket, a dry place, absolute relief of immobility. Glowing red embers, the heart of the home, shifting and turning to ash. Deep safety in the simplicity, drifting now, letting go, drifting now, letting go.
You close your eyes, and immediately the sounds of the night become the only reality. The darkness is absolute, a heavy presence that cannot be separated from the silence. From the corner of the cottage, beyond the small wooden partition, you hear the quiet, rhythmic sound of the cow breathing in the deep darkness. It is a slow, reassuring exhale, followed by a soft, warm inhalation. You can hear the goats rustle in the straw as they adjust themselves. their small hooves making a faint scratching sound. The collective breath of the entire house, people and animals, creates a singular, calming pulse. You realize that the cunning woman is no longer in the room. She has gone back to her own small cottage, or perhaps just to another corner, her tasks complete. The absence of her presence, which has been so strong and protecting, emphasizes the finality of the day. This stillness, this profound absence of modern light and noise, is a solid, tangible thing. The quiet is not just an empty space, it is the physical sensation of peace. Medieval people did not fear the night, they respected it, because it was the time when all labor stopped, when all thoughts turned inward. Medieval life teaches you that you are connected to everything around you. Your breath matches the breath of your family. The warmth you feel is the shared warmth of the earth and the animals. You are not an individual unit. You are part of a pact for survival. In this profound connection, you find the strength to endure the dark. Take another slow breath in, and imagine that you are inhaling the same peaceful stillness of the room, letting it fill your body with a quiet, heavy calm. Feel the scene. You turn your attention back to the fire. It has now faded from a deep red to a gentle, pulsing warmth. Only the softest mists of light remain on the hearthstone. You look at them with a relaxed, heavy focus, and with each slow breath you take, imagine that you are watching the last small thoughts and future fears of the modern world dissolve and melt away with those embers. Medieval survival requires an inner resilience, a quiet strength to wait for the distant promise of spring, but it also requires an ultimate acceptance. As you drift deeper, you are accepting the simplicity, accepting the quiet, and accepting the shadows. The harsh winter wind Boughton, which seems to slam against the walls with less and less force, is now just a distant, comforting memory. There is no urgency in your mind, no mechanical count of time, only the rhythmic turning of the stars. You feel your body dissolve into the comforting darkness. You are melting into the wool, melting into the rushes, melting into the ancient earth and the ancient shadows. The room, with its smells and sounds, fades into a soft, dreamlike silence. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to prepare for. Only this quiet, protected moment, held in the arms of the past. Let yourself all fade into the vast, peaceful night. Let your final, slow breath dissolve everything into the comforting silence. Close your eyes, breathe softly, and let the ancient shadows welcome you into the absolute safety of sleep. Feel the scene. The transition from wakefulness to sleep in a medieval cottage is not a sudden drop, but a slow, gentle sinking into an ocean of quiet. The few remaining embers on the hearthstone have now faded completely into soft, gray ash. The room is swallowed by a pure, undisturbed darkness. It is a darkness so complete, so absolute, that it feels like a heavy, velvet blanket wrapped securely around your tired shoulders. Take a very slow, deep breath in and feel the cool night air. And as you exhale, let go of any remaining tension in your jaw, your neck, and your back. You are perfectly safe. The thick wattle and daub walls, built by hands that understand the harshness of the world, now stand as a silent fortress between you and the winter. The heavy wooden door is barred. The cold drafts have been sealed out. You are insulated. You are hidden. You are protected from the demands of the waking world. In this deep hour of the night, the concept of the individual begins to fade. You are no longer a modern person burdened by endless notifications, complex responsibilities, and invisible anxieties. You are simply a breathing soul, resting warmly on the ancient earth. The coarse wool blankets that cover you feel less like fabric and more like the very embrace of the past, holding you firmly in place, anchoring you to this quiet moment in time. Listen to the silence. It is not empty. It is a rich, textured stillness. You can hear the incredibly slow, steady breathing of the family beside you. Their chests rise and fall in a perfect, unconscious rhythm. Behind the wooden partition, the livestock are equally still, their heavy bodies radiating a gentle, life-sustaining heat into the dark room. Together, in this tiny, fragile space, you have all surrendered to the night. You have all earned this absolute rest. Feel the scene. As your physical body grows heavier and heavier, sinking deeper into the straw bed, your mind becomes light, floating effortlessly into the realm of dreams. You drift beyond the dark, smoky ceiling of the cottage. You drift out into the freezing, silent air of the medieval village. But in this dream state, you do not feel the biting cold. You only feel the breathtaking, serene beauty of a world completely at rest. Imagine floating gently above the thatched roofs of the village. The snow that fell earlier has covered everything in a pristine, untouched layer of brilliant white. Under the light of a pale silver crescent moon, the snow softly glows, illuminating the narrow dirt paths and the silent, frozen fields. There are no footprints. There are no wheel tracks. The struggles of the day, the heavy plow, the freezing mud, the aching muscles, have all been erased by this pure, smoothing blanket of winter. You drift further, towards the edge of the dark woodland that surrounds the village. The ancient oak and elm trees stand like silent, towering guardians. Their bare, jagged branches are outlined in silver moonlight, casting long, soft shadows across the snowy forest floor. Nothing moves in the woods. The birds are asleep in their hollows. The deer are bedded down deep in the thickets. In the modern world, the mind is always rushing forward, always anticipating the next hour, the next day, the next obligation. But here, hovering above this ancient, sleeping forest, you realize that time has completely stopped. The trees do not rush to grow. The snow does not rush to melt. The earth simply exists, patient and enduring. You are a part of this enduring earth. You do not need to rush. You do not need to plan. You only need to exist, perfectly still, perfectly calm, enveloped in the silver light of a forgotten century. Let the timelessness of the medieval winter wash through your mind, clearing away every modern thought, leaving only peace. Feel the scene. The night deepens further. In the 14th century, there are no mechanical numbers glowing in the dark to tell you how much time has passed or how much time is left. Time is not a resource to be measured, spent, or wasted. It is a slow, majestic river, and right now you are floating effortlessly upon its surface. The only clock is the slow, imperceptible turning of the stars across the vast black sky. Galaxies that have shone for millions of years look down upon this tiny, snow-covered village, keeping watch while you sleep. The world is incredibly vast, and you are just a small, quiet part of it, safe in your shelter, warm beneath your wool. Feel the gravity of the earth pulling you down, deeper and deeper into a state of profound relaxation. Your legs are heavy and entirely relaxed. Your arms are heavy, sinking into the soft straw. Your chest rises and falls with a natural, effortless grace. Your mind is a dark, calm pool of water, perfectly still, reflecting only the peace of the night. If a stray thought from the waking world tries to enter your mind, a memory of work, a worry for tomorrow, simply watch it fall like a single snowflake onto a dark, running river. Watch it touch the water, dissolve, and disappear completely. It cannot disturb you here. Nothing can reach you here. You are hidden in the folds of history. You are wrapped in the shadows of a simpler time. The labor is done. The hearth is quiet. The village is completely surrendered to the dark. Allow yourself to surrender with them. Let go of the final threads of wakefulness. Drift down, down into the heavy, comforting darkness, down into the ancient earth, down into the deepest, most restorative sleep your body has ever known. You are safe. You are warm. You are at peace. Feel the scene. The journey through the past is now complete. The medieval village with its muddy paths, heavy plows, and smoking hearths slowly dissolves into the gentle mists of your imagination. You have witnessed the struggles, the resilience, and the profound simplicity of a forgotten time. Now you can leave it all behind. You are returning to your own safe, comfortable space, bringing with you only the deep, grounded peace of the ancient earth. As the world of the 14th century fades completely away, feel the supreme comfort of your own bed. The mattress beneath you is soft, supportive, and perfectly designed to hold your weight. There are no cold drafts here, no harsh survival tasks waiting for you at dawn. You are completely safe, surrounded by the quiet security of the modern world, yet carrying the heavy, restful stillness of the medieval night. Take a very slow, deep breath in, feeling your chest rise without any effort. And as you exhale, let the breath carry away any remaining tension in your body. Feel the relaxation spreading over you like a warm, heavy blanket. Let your forehead smooth out. Relax the small muscles around your eyes. Allow your jaw to drop slightly, releasing any tightness or stress you might be holding there. Let your shoulders sink completely into the mattress, feeling heavy and loose. Feel this soothing wave of relaxation travel down your arms, through your wrists, and out through your fingertips. Your chest and stomach are perfectly relaxed, rising and falling with the natural, effortless rhythm of your breathing. Feel the heavy, comforting weight in your hips and your legs. Let your knees soften, your calves relax, and the soles of your feet release completely into the darkness. Your entire physical body is now asleep, resting deeply and repairing itself. There is absolutely nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to solve, plan, or remember tonight. The world outside your window will take care of itself. Tomorrow is a distant shore, and you do not need to look for it now. You are simply drifting in a calm, dark ocean of absolute tranquility. Let your mind become as quiet as the snow-covered forest you left behind. If any stray thoughts from the waking world drift into your awareness, do not engage with them. Simply let them pass by like silent clouds across a dark night sky. You are sinking deeper into the soft, comforting shadows, deeper into the silence, deeper into the most restorative sleep your mind has ever known. Let the simple, resilient spirit of the past wash over you, clearing away all worries. The shadows are protecting you. The silence is healing you. Breathe softly. Drift completely. Let your dreams carry you through the ancient shadows and the ancient light. Sleep deeply, peacefully, completely. Good night. Feel the scene.